In the movie He Was a Quiet Man, an office worker becomes a hero after he saves a woman's life.
A man knew what it was to be a man. You stood up for things that were wrong. The way you lived prepared you for the inevitable confrontations. Then something happened. A man could no longer stand up to the wrongs that were around him. It's a disease and it needs someone that understands what's at stake.
Anybody see McConnell?
Someone who can stand up like a real man and take action against injustice and unfairness in this world.
That's right! Don't give it back!
Today, just do it right now. Before lunch.
McConnell.
Wow, look at what you did.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
I had no expectations when it came to He Was a Quiet Man, but it did look like a really interesting film. It looked a little bit of a combination of a cliched comedy and a rom-com and a hipster movie at the same time, and I felt like, is this supposed to be serious, or is this supposed to be like a funny movie, or is it supposed to be both, because you can do that as well? Like, let me give you guys a little example. Click, for example. Now, I know people don't like Click because they don't look at Adam Sandler, so that's why they don't like Click or something, or whatever the reason is. I'm one of those few people who loved Click. I thought it was a great film. And it has serious tones in it, and it has serious subjects that should be talked about, but it's a comedy movie in general, and I didn't know which genre this was. Now, let me tell you, even though I'm using the trailer to promote this movie or to showcase this film in this review, I don't want you guys to listen to what the trailer is saying, because the trailer makes the movie look a lot more upbeat and very happy, and it's like a comedy only. It's not going to be anything serious. Don't take any of this film serious. I saw the film. It's generally a drama film with comedy elements in it, and the trailer makes it look like it's a completely opposite. Now, you may think to yourself, is there really any difference between a drama and a comedy and a drama? Yes, because if you're focusing mostly on comedy, the movie is upbeat and very happy in general, and sometimes when they're being dramatic, it can be funny afterwards, so it's not dramatic after all, if you know what I mean. But if it's like a drama film and there's comedic elements into it, they're like, okay, so things that are very dramatic, yes, you should take it seriously, but not too seriously, you know what I mean? And that's what the movie is really all about. What did I think of the film? It was pretty damn good. Now, I did think the movie was going to be according to the trailers, and it is a bit misleading, but it's not really that misleading. I felt like it was like, the trailer was like, oh yeah, so it's a comedy film, so let's just make it comedy. And it's like, no, it's just comedy elements in it. And people have to understand that sometimes. So try not to watch the trailers, by all means. Like, the trailers that I'm showing you guys in this review, it's not really spoiling a whole lot, but it's just showcasing how the film looks like, I guess. And it's made back in 2007, so it's an old movie. And you guys may have never heard of this film before. I don't think it did so well in the box office. As a matter of fact, I don't know if it actually ended up in theaters. I might be wrong. As of what I remember, I don't think it was in any theaters, and if so, it was probably a limited release, and it probably didn't do that well, or it's probably just in a festival, because it's a very independent film, so it's not like a studio-heavy, produced by Warner Brothers or anything like that, and that's kind of where the creativity for this film shows up in. You got the main character who just hates his job, and he wants to kill every co-worker, including his boss and everyone else, and he wants to get the girl of his life, but he can't get the girl of his life, so he just takes a pistol with him, and he's about to plan it, and he's about to shoot everyone up, but then something distracts him, whether it's a break or it's a day off, and he's like, oh shit, I can't shoot anyone. And then right before he does it, somebody else does it for him, and he's like, holy shit. And he just sees the consequences flow through right in front of his face, and he just watches himself being like, okay, that should have been me right there. I kind of wanted to do what he did, but he kind of took over my job. But then I'm looked upon as a hero, and things happen. And the way story is being told is a bit documentary-ish. If you played Mafia 3, you'll know how they're telling the story. If you have not played Mafia 3, or if you don't even know what the hell Mafia is, it's a video game franchise, just so you guys know. But Mafia 3 is told in a documentary style, and also in a narrative style. Kind of like District 9. If you have seen District 9, you'll know what I mean. If not, it's like I explained, documentary mixed with fiction, but mostly just live action fictional film right in front of your face, basically. And the way they tell a story is pretty damn genius. Now, the story itself, is it like a masterpiece? No, I mean, I'm not gonna say it was predictable because this is like one of the first movies that did it. I'm not gonna say it's the very first film because I'm sure people are gonna be like, oh, the movie from the 50s did this. I'm sure it did, but this is like in the early stages of movies telling their stories in that type of structure. And I found it very interesting. And when I saw the film, I saw it in a time where this type of structure wasn't that popular. It's becoming a bit popular now, of course. It's not super popular yet, but it's getting there. But that was back in the time where it could have gone anywhere. The guy could have been dead, the guy could have been alive, he could have been a god, he could have been not real. Like, all of that documentary, it's like you don't know where the story is going, although they're talking about the story like it already happened, and I really like that. The acting is really good. However, the love interest for the main character, don't know her name, don't remember it either. I'm gonna have to say the acting from her was, for the most part, good. But at times, you could tell it was like almost theater acting. And what I mean by theater acting, it almost felt forced. Like in say this line, and say it very angrily, although you don't have a reason to be angry saying that line. If you've seen the movie, I'm sure you know what kind of parts in the film you would be like, yeah, I can understand why you would feel that way. For anyone who has not seen the movie, you probably don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But there are a few things that the love interest is saying in this film that makes it feel a bit forced and makes it look more theatrical, like you're in a theater, you're on the stage, rather than you're on film, where you don't have to be that forced because the camera and the microphone is all close to you, so you don't have to do that. I would really recommend you guys watching this film. It's really entertaining. I didn't love it because there are parts in the movie that they're trying to make super dramatic and super epic, and they don't really get the point a whole lot across. It's just, this is just to be comedic and a little bit, dark comedy, and it's like, it's kind of forced in there. There are certain parts in the film, like the acting and some things that they're just throwing into the story that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it feels forced. But for the most part, the way they're telling it is pretty damn genius. And it's kind of relatable, especially for the main character. Now, I have never felt like I wanted to shoot anyone, but I have been angry at coworkers. I have been angry at classmates. I have been angry at people I have to work together with. So in that regard, I can relate. And I think for anyone who's been in that kind of situation, I think you'll at least understand the film or appreciate it. I think you'll like it as well. It's really underrated. I'd recommend it for you guys if you have nothing else to see. I'm going to give He Was a Quiet Man a 7 out of 10. Go watch it if you can. It's probably hard to find. I'm not going to say how I found it. I'm just saying. So just go ahead and watch the movie yourself and let me know what you thought of it. Anyways, guys, that's it for the review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave me your comments down in the section down below. Did you like the film? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay if you've already seen it? If you're going to talk about spoilers, have a spoiler tag. You don't want to spoil this movie at all. There are some movies where it's like, oh, you can spoil a little bit. This one, don't spoil it. It has sort of a twist, but not so much. So don't spoil it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, have a good one.
You may ask why I did what I did. How else could I get your attention?